Ovens and Murray Netball. And it's great to have your company from the Lavington Sports Ground. My name's Gus McLeod, and joining me once again for a second week as the SSNA Ovens and Murray Netball commentator. It's a very good afternoon. It's almost evening now. To Hannah Davies. Hannah, welcome.
Thanks, Gus. Yeah, it is a good afternoon. I'm very, very happy that the rain has cleared. It was looking a bit gloomy this morning, but sun shines out, sort of.
Almost there. We're a soldier down as well from last week. She was that good on debut. We've decided to give her a spell, and we've brought one off the bench with a more than suitable replacement. She's all things Ovens and Murray Netball. It's a very good evening to Tamara Matthews. Tam, thanks for joining us on O&M Live Netball.
It's awesome to be here. It's so great to be part of this.
Let's move your mic up a little bit there, Tam. The old cord got in the road of it. We'll get to untuck that one. But, yeah, great to have you on board, Tam, of course. Nothing like a little bit of technical issues to start the broadcast. But thanks for joining us on O&M Live Netball. And from yourself, you've been heavily involved in pioneering this live streaming and radio broadcasting and netball. It's great to have you on board.
Thanks. It's awesome to be here.
How's things been shaping up across the last sort of couple of weeks in Ovens and Murray Netball? Of course, a big hype up and a big build up to the start of the season, and now we're finally here at round one.
Oh, look, I just think the people I've spoken to, they are just wanting to play. Everyone is excited to be out there, excited to get a season underway and hopefully get a full season in. There's been some ups and downs from some clubs with availability, and COVID has impacted a couple of clubs already. But you know what? I think, if anything, the last 2 years has taught us, and that's to be flexible and adaptable. And there's going to be a lot of young kids from lower grades get a lot of opportunity this year. So, you just have to look at the benefits, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Lavington and Myrtleford are the two clubs representing the Ovens and Murray live stream today. Alongside, we've got Gus McLeod, Hannah Davies and Tamara Matthews. Hannah, let's quickly cast our eyes over the starting lineups for each team. So we'll kick things off with the home side, the Lavington Panthers.
Yeah, so starting in goal shooter is Maddie Plunkett. Joining her in goal attack, Emily Stewart. Maddie Lloyd, last year's Tony Wilson medalist, is in wing attack. Centre is Ange DeManuel. Wing defence, Amy Houlihan. Goal defence, Maggie Thompson and Grace Hay in goalkeeper, with the substitute bench of Olivia Sanson, Kate Mastronardi and Sarah Curley. So
a pretty strong lineup for the Lavington Panthers, and of course really excited to see what the Panthers can do inside the ring today, led by Maddie Plunkett and Emily Stewart, who comes with massive raps coming down from GWS. And we'll quickly cast our eye over the Alpine Saints as well. Hannah, led by captain coach Tina Way.
Yeah, so goal shooter for the Saints is Rebecca Piazza. Morgan Byrne in goal attack, wing attack Emma Sharp, Ellie Cooper in centre there, wing defence Sophie Capillari, Tina Way the coach in goal defence, and goalkeeper Taylor Cartwright, with the subs bench of Sinead Gribben and Sally Botter. So already one less sub than Panthers.
Absolutely, one sub down, which is going to be a bit of an endurance for them, but they've got a game under their belt, of course, which is going to be a massive advantage. And we'll say it now, and we'll pump it up throughout the whole broadcast. A real family affair on O&M Live Netball today, of course, with Cartwright Productions responsible for the filming of all our Ovens and Murray action in season 2022. Great to have Taylor Sanson, the daughter of the best cameraman of the Ovens and Murray, Trav Cartwright. I'll call it Taylor Sanson. It's Taylor Cartwright playing for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints today. So great to have a real family affair rolling around in the SSNA Ovens and Murray O&M Live Netball stream. Tamara, a new look squad for both of these clubs today. Lavington have had a real changing of the guard across the last 2 or 3 years. They snuck into finals last year, and we probably didn't expect them to, but finals would well and truly be on the agenda once again for the Panthers.
Oh, look, absolutely. They've got, a number of players there who have had a lot of A-grade experience, but also a lot of finals experience. For the first time in a very, very long time, they're without a Sarah Meredith. She was a player who didn't ever miss games through injury. So, I guess it's a team that's getting used to not having her in their defensive lineup, but Maggie Thompson, more than capable, and Taylor Ferber, she's spent a lot of years playing between A and B and a long time at Ovens and Murray. So, I think she'll step in, and she's a very cool, calm and collected kind of player. So, they've brought her into the lineup last week, and then they've got Gracie Hay, a superstar who's coming up through the ranks. So they'll be super keen. But, you look at Myrtleford, and they've got a Beck Piazza and a Tina Way, and you do not get too many more experience than those players. And when they're leading from the front, that's got to give confidence to the young girls around them. They've got a Jacqueline Piazza who can come off the bench, who I think probably had a big impact in last week's game in that last quarter. So this should be a really great game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just want to quickly touch on, Tam, the loss of Amy Antonella. She won the Ovens and Murray Hot Shot Award last year, a prolific goal shooter, and that's a massive hole to fill for the Alpine Saints.
It absolutely is. And that's disappointing, I guess, because, a young kid coming through and then obviously to lose a young player after putting some years into her. But that's the reality of living in a rural area. Kids move on to uni and to other opportunities, and we just have to continue to bring the young ones up, and someone else will get an opportunity in her spot. So, look, Morgan Byrne is a young player who's come across from Rovers, and, great to see her getting opportunity. A few family ties at Myrtleford, and, played a great role last week, was their main shooter, I think, scored most of their goals. So, Tina Way will certainly be leading her well.
Absolutely. You mentioned a real family affair at the Alpine Saints. Great to have Ellie Cooper shaping up with the Alpine Saints this year. Come across with her partner, Murray Waite, who's been a prolific recruit for the Alpine Saints on the football field. And that's what we love about local football and netball, isn't it, Tam? When the whole family can get involved at clubland. The boyfriend can play footy, the girlfriend can play netball, and mum and dad can maybe cook some hot chips at the canteen.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's just lovely that netball's now getting the profile and the that it is, and the the promotion. And we hear about the netballers now. For a long time it was very much about the star recruits from the football side of things, but really nice that we can now link that to the netball and talk about some of the great netballers who are coming into the league, and the footballers perhaps being partner of instead of the WAGs, so it's nice.
Absolutely. Not too far away from the game getting underway, the SSNA Ovens and Murray netball broadcast. Thanks to our good friends at McRae Motors. Great to have them on board in season 2022 of the SSNA Ovens and Murray. Hannah, really keen to get your thoughts on this game. And there's a player who's made her way to the SSNA Ovens and Murray that's caught your eye from the get-go. She's going to be playing goal attack for Lavington Panthers, and her name is Emily Stewart. Why does Emily catch your eye?
Yeah, so she's, of course, come from GWS Fury, which is in the New South Wales Premier League. So New South Wales' version of the VNL, which a lot of people will be familiar with as well. But yeah, she's had a lot of experience playing that really high-intensity game, and also, in those Premier Leagues, there's a massive focus to win. So I'm expecting to see a real competitive drive from her. But I think combining her with Plunkett's going to be awesome. Plunkett's come from a background of college basketball. She's also playing for the Albury-Wodonga Bandits, although I assume not today since they are playing right now. But yeah, so I think that combination is going to be awesome. I think netball's moving away from a holding shooter and more into that moving circle. So I think it's going to be awesome, especially paired with obviously Tony Wilson medalist Maddie Lloyd in wing attack. So yeah, look, I'm very excited to see what the Panthers can do in particular. I'm probably tipping them for this game. Tam, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I would agree. I think there's probably just a little bit more experience across the court. I do know last year Myrtleford's two biggest losses to the top five sides were to Lavington. They were just a team who they struggled to match up on, and Tina's very conscious of that. So I think they'll be looking to make amends and take it up to Lavy today.
Not too far away from getting underway. First quarter action on O&M Live Netball thanks to Cavalier Homes. We'll quickly get a final tip from you, Tamara.
Lavington for me.
Hannah Davies on O&M Live.
Yeah, I'm going to go Lavington by 20.
Lavington by 20. Gee, she's new to the area and she's going to make a few statements with her tips. I think the Panthers as well. I just think they'll have too much talent in that goal circle to get the job done. We're about to get underway. First quarter action on O&M Live thanks to Cavalier Homes, and here's Hannah Davies.
So here's DeManuel starting off with the ball. Already a stepping obstruction call, sorry. So Panthers work it into Plunkett. Fires it off, back to DeManuel. And there's Stewart, first touch of the ball for her. This is her club debut. She was out last week for the first time in Panthers colours. Quick one for Hannah and you as well, Tam. Of course, with a player like Emily Stewart making her way to the Ovens and Murray, been playing a lot of netball on indoor courts. How much of an impact is that going to make when she comes to the bush and she's playing on the asphalt?
Oh, she's going to feel it. She's probably going to be very sore after her first few games, I'd imagine. Very different style of netball. And she'll have to get used to playing in the conditions. Big hands there from the Panthers. Thought it might have been contact, but umpire says play on. So ball goes into Plunkett, but there's been a turnover here for the Saints. Still nil all. Stepping call. So Saints Cartwright with the ball in hand.
Giving away a bit of height in the circle as well, Hannah.
Yeah, definitely. Panthers have the leg up, I guess you could say, literally in there. So Saints moving it down, get a little crowded in the shooting end here. Cooper goes into goal attack. Byrne, there's a throw in here. So Alpine, Cooper again.
As the netball crashes into our broadcast position at the Lavington Sports Ground, we've played about 2 minutes on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock.
So Byrne and Cooper are the real playmakers here. And there's Piazza. Grace Hayes out for contact. Good move there from Piazza to step in front of Hay. Just ready herself for the rebound.
So the Alpine Saints draw first blood. O&M live action thanks to Cavalier Homes.
Cooper again looking in. There's Hay, first intercept of the day. Great from her. She's had a busy year so far, playing with the Bushies in the, I believe it's the NAB League.
In the women's football as well.
Yes, AFL. Also playing with Northeast Blaze in their 19 division of the Victoria Netball League. So she's travelling to Melbourne about twice a week and then playing here on the weekend. So an exceptional dual code athlete. Year 12, I'll be interesting to see what decision she makes in terms of where she wants to go.
Bit too much on that one for Maddie Lloyd, and Lavington is struggling to find their feet early days, Tam.
Yeah, both teams are looking to force it, and this is where it's going to be the team that settles outside that circle and is patient, works it into a position where they're not having to force it, that's going to get on top. Neither side can, certainly Myrtleford can't afford to be throwing long bombs. They have to really work the ring.
So Piazza works in with Cooper. Hands from Panthers, but keeps it in play. Shot goes over, but a good rebound there from Byrne.
As the Saints draw away to a hot start, 2 goals to zip. We've played 3.5 minutes on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock, and Lavington have the ball in mid-court.
So Plunkett comes out of the circle. There's a contact wing defence. Panthers will get a little settler here. And there's the basketballer, former college baller for Utah.
Done your research today, Hannah, haven't you?
Just a little bit.
Lavington get there first on the Cavalier Home scoreboard. Alpine Saints lead 2-1. We've played just under 5 minutes on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock.
So Alpine also going for a moving shooter role.
Yeah, and they're going to have to keep that up and try and spread that Lavington defence, because there's some very tall defenders in there and they can't afford to get congested around that circle. They're really going to have to try and draw them out and open up that space.
Great rebound there from Hay. So Panthers move the ball down. Stewart out of the circle. Oh,
great pickup.
That's Tina Way, coach of the team as well. Little ball from Plunkett to Stewart. Rebound from Stewart. Good work early from her. And there's the shot.
So scores level on the Cavalier Home scoreboard. 2 goals apiece. O&M Live netball with Gus McLeod, Hannah Davies and Tamara Matthews on O&M Live debut. Is a great pass from the Tony Wilson medalist. Links up with the 2 goal shooters for the Lavington Panthers. They put another one on the board and they've just taken the lead on the Cavalier Home scoreboard, Hannah.
So here's Cooper. Breaking call. So Houlihan with the ball in hand. She just played B grade game for Lavington. Was excellent in their game. So no surprises to see her take the court for the A grade here.
No, she's a young player who started off in the 16s with Lavington quite a few years ago now. As only, I think she would have only been a 14-year-old at that stage, and juggling netball and basketball. Had a lot of net basketball commitments at the time, but a very athletic young player and very determined. And
yep.
She would be relishing the opportunity to step up.
I'm definitely seeing a trend here from Lavington. I feel like they've got a scout there at the basketball courts, just like handing out numbers.
Yes, there's a bit of a trend, isn't there?
So Plunkett, top of the circle. I'd like to see her hold a little bit more. She's got the height and she's definitely got the elevation. I think if she can just settle a little bit.
How important is it as well, Tamara, for a really new player to the game in Maddie Plunkett to find that continuity with Emily Stewart in the ring?
Look, that's going to be key today. Working out, are they going to play rotating shooter? Are they going to play, one moving, one stationary? As Hannah said, I think Maddie needs to probably just play a little bit more stationary, force the defender to come onto the body. She's got the size to match it with her. And then allow the feeders to find their position on the circle to get the ball into them cleanly. They're forcing it.
And right on cue, that's what she does. Tamara Matthews, Hannah Davies and Gus McLeod on O&M Live. Doing it thanks to Cavalier Homes. The Panthers lead 5 goals to 2.
Oh, great pick up there from Houlihan again. But Cooper hits one back there for the Saints and swings in to Piazza. Cooper again moving it a little bit closer. Need to find the post. So there's Byrne. Good short goal there.
So the Alpine Saints move to 5, or 3 I should say. Lavington Panthers are 5 on the Cavalier home scoreboard. Lavington just starting to find their rhythm and their groove here, Hannah.
Yeah, both teams working really hard so far. I think Lavington probably a little bit unsettled. I think there's a lot of talent on that court, but finding that combination will take a little bit of time. So Byrne moving it around here for the Alpine Saints. Neither shooter willing to shoot kind of even in that mid-range. They're really wanting it right under the post. Great balance there from Piazza to get that shot.
First quarter action thanks to Cavalier Homes on O&M Live, and the game's really ebbed and flowed to start, Tam.
It has. Neither side, as Hannah said, can just settle, and it's creating a lot of turnovers in each goal third. So it's really going to be a battle, this one.
So Cooper moves the ball down for her team. Feet looked a little like they were moving, but Piazza scores again.
Yeah, she hit that circle hard, didn't she?
Certainly did. So here's Emmanuel. Moves over to Stewart. Maddie Lloyd on the move. Big contact there. That's a hard call for the umpire. I don't know which way I'd go there, Tam.
Yeah, no, I thought that was probably... I'd almost let that go.
Ooh. Yeah, definite contact there.
You've caught it inside the circle.
So Plunkett takes this shot. Great goal from her. So already you can sense that Lavington probably going for more of a holding shooter in the circle.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to try and... Sophie Capillari's really going to have to stop Maddie Lloyd's drive off that centre pass to the circle. They're getting it to that circle edge a bit quick.
Great hands there from Hay. Read that beautifully. Just kept the eyes up at all times. And there she goes, helping out the side. Moves to Houlihan. There's Plunkett out of the circle again. Little ball into Stewart. Mid-range from her. And a great shot there to finish off.
So Lavington claim a 2-goal lead. We've played 7, almost 8 minutes on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. O&M Live action in the first quarter, thanks to McRae Motors.
Contact here from the Alpine Saints, so Panthers get to move it down. Stewart again. 2 in a row from her. Looks to have found her confidence.
And they're starting to find that rhythm and groove we spoke about, Tamari, inside the circle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think playing a little bit smarter around the outside instead of trying to ball chase, waiting for the right opportunity to drive.
So we had a great turnover for the Panthers, but good work from the Saints has earned them the ball again. Looking for their players to really come forward here.
They're moving it quick, Myrtleford, aren't they?
Very quick.
And Hay once again playing a vital role in defence for the Lavington Panthers. Hannah Davies and Tamara Matthews on O&M Live, thanks to Insight Injury Clinic.
Again, trying to push that one right under the post. I'd love to see the shooters have a bit more confidence, and even a mid-range shot would probably free them up a little bit. They don't necessarily have the height. As we see just then, great hands there from Maggie Thompson from the Panthers. So Panthers transition down. Shooter goes to Lloyd, into Stewart again. And another shot here.
So really good play from the 2-goal shooters, but in particular Stewart, shaping up to be a contender for the Urban Greys Player of the Day.
Plunkett comes out again. Good hands there from Tina Way. Probably was a split second late, so she'll get the contact. But regardless, great to have that competitiveness. So it'll be an Alpine centre here. Looking down, obstruction from Panthers, sorry.
The game's really still ebbing and flowing, isn't it, Tamara? Of course, Lavington seem to be capitalising when they're going inside their circle, but if Myrtleford can convert, they'll be a lot closer in this contest.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just getting congested under that post and both getting stuck in them. Someone needs to draw a defender out and make a lead and open up that circle just to get some rotation through. I'll be interested to see whether they stick with Beck in shooter or whether they make a change and swing her to defence to try and match the height of Maddie Plunkett.
So Lloyd on the move here. Saints probably a few too many penalties for my liking this early. It's giving the Panthers just that extra second to settle and to set up, like we see Plunkett there. She's already that huge figure, so you probably you don't want to give them the extra second to have her set up.
No, and they do tend to play, that's the style of netball they play. They are very dogged and they will run down every ball, and it's, as you said, it's about making a choice and pulling out when it's not on.
So the Panthers put another one on, 12 plays 5 on the Cavalier home scoreboard. With about 3 minutes to go in this first quarter on O&M Live.
So Amy Houlihan with ball in hand. There's been a breaking call from the Saints. Again, just a few too many unforced errors here, which is allowing the Panthers to creep up. Plunkett, confidence. There we go. Could have passed off, but she took that shot.
The Myrtleford defenders are going hunting, aren't they? They're really coming off the players, and probably it's a bit early in the game for that. I would be sticking more to a one-on-one, trying to lock it up a little bit more and force the error that way.
Yeah, I completely agree. And look, it's first quarter. I think, you probably have the fitness to run with them. And if you can, then you probably should. So Maddie Lloyd here goes over. Contact, though, from Stewart. So Saints move the ball down. Obstruction here from Lloyd. Frees up the Saints a little bit as they work down on that far channel towards the crowd. Cooper goes over. Again, just forcing it into that circle a little bit. There was a 2-on-1 there. And unfortunately, I think the pressure of that's caused a replay from the Saints.
Bit of breakdown in communication there, Tam.
Yeah, I think forcing it one pass too early, I think the feeders probably need to work a bit harder and take an extra ball outside before they look to go in.
Tamara Matthews on O&M Live, thanks to Insight Injury Clinic. As Plunkett has the ball inside the ring, Hannah.
Great shot there from her, and a really good time in the game to show that she can do those mid-range shots, which means, again, you need to stay on the body.
Yeah, and interesting last year, she was much better at the shots further out. It was under the post that probably was less comfortable for her, which I guess comes from basketball.
Basketball, I was going to say.
Yeah,
Just dunk them in basketball, Tam. Can't do that on the netball courts.
That's right.
So here's Piazza. Should be in her range, and it is.
So 14 plays 6 on the Cavalier home scoreboard. Not long to go in the first quarter on O&M Live. Lavington have the ball in the attacking third.
Panthers, Lloyd looks in, but willing to work it around. There we go. Good pass there. Almost hit the hands of Cartwright, so good effort from her.
And that's the class of a Tony Wilson medalist right there, Tamara.
Absolutely. Working it to the circle and then being balanced enough to deliver off a great ball.
Very rushed pass there from the Saints, so a throw in here for Grace Hay of the Panthers.
She's really impressed me early days, Hannah. Really been a real staple in defence for the Panthers.
Yeah, she's been awesome. A very young star. Plays with a lot of grunt in the circle as well. She'll really chase down that ball, and even you can see now she goes up to that point. She wants to help out the team until they get the goal, which with ball in hand of Stewart, they should. There we go.
As the score moves to 16-6, a 10-goal lead favouring the Lavington Panthers. The umpire didn't call that through.
No, there's been a no goal. So the Alpine Saints move the ball down into Cooper.
Oh, great vision.
Yeah, and Cooper's been really good for the team so far. I feel like she's been probably the best feeder for them so far. She has that patience, but she's also got the speed as well.
Yeah, she's a real link player, isn't she?
The Alpine Saints convert 15 plays 7 on the Cavalier home scoreboard, and that is quarter time. We'll take a break. You're listening to O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Watching the game at home is good, but watching the game on the big screen with all your mates, all the atmosphere and the great food and beer is pretty hard to beat. And it's all here at the locker room at the SSNA.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan Intelligent Mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket, served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
Did someone say KFC?
I don't care. I love it.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where there's industry qualified trainers. Go where students come first. Go for the community. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go where there's free TAFE. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Hi, I'm Kylie King. I first fell in love with this region as the Prime News sports presenter. Sometimes this feels like my second home. I love our historic towns and vibrant cities, our passion for sport, and of course the people who make it special. And now I get to share what's important in our region with Kev Polton. So join us, Kylie and Kev, for breakfast, weekday mornings from 6 on 2AY and 3NE.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball. And a great start for the Lavington Panthers in the first quarter. 15 plays 7. You've got Gus McLeod, Hannah Davies, and Mrs. Netball across the ovens of Murray. Tamara Matthews with you on O&M Live. And it looks like Myrtleford will get the game restarted in the centre. We're doing the second quarter thanks to Cavalier Homes, and hopefully we can see the Alpine Saints work their way back into this contest, Hannah.
Yeah, so Cooper, ball in hand. She had a really good first quarter for them, real playmaker there. It'll be interesting to see, Tam, if they stick with that moving circle or if they ask Piazza to hold a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they set up this time.
So contact there for Panthers. Good pick up there from Piazza.
And you can see Beck directing Morgan, talking to her there, holding, telling her to go around.
Interesting, we saw it last week with Zara Berry shooting off 1 foot as well. Hannah, it seems to be a common trend of Beck Piazza for the Alpine Saints as well.
Yeah, it's a funny one. I never understand why you'd choose to do that if you don't have to, but maybe it's a superstition thing. I don't know.
Well, it's working. She's been dominant in the ring, and Tamara, you were saying she was instrumental in the circle last week for the Alpine Saints and their clutch victory over the Rovers.
Yeah, they swung her into goals in the second half, which obviously helped them get to the win. And she's always shot like that, so yeah, it's obviously just her natural movement and how she feels comfortable. Yeah.
So the Saints here, moving it down. Shooters still moving. Piazza trying to work around Hay, but she's incredibly tight on the body there. There she goes, gets a hand to it, but second too late means it's a contact.
I'm liking Morgan Burns' work rate. It's just knowing where to go and when to go there. That's probably the thing for her to settle into at the moment. She's working really hard and trying to outrun those defenders, and perhaps that coming together in the circle and then a one-off would work better.
16 plays 9 on O&M Live, favouring the Lavington Panthers. We're doing it thanks to Cavalier Homes.
So here's Stewart. showing off her Premier League experience. She's all alone there, and she's not a player that you can leave alone at all. She'll have a crack at the rebound, but Saints come up with it. Cooper on the circle. She'll need to transition back really quickly. And a good ball over there for the Saints. They're going over, and Piazza just doesn't have her eyes up. Needs to keep the eyes up, needs to keep. So here's Plunkett. A late contact there from Tina Way.
And just quickly, Tamara, I've noticed they're almost trying to double team whoever's that deepest shooter for the Lavington Panthers, just trying to get two defenders on them to try and limit their impact on the game.
Yeah, they are. Unfortunately, neither are matching her for height, so it makes it hard to do that. And look, Morgan, like I said, Emily Stewart has, she's very athletic, and I don't think they can afford to let her have a free run through that goal circle.
Definitely not. I think if you've got a player that can stick on her, they need to the whole game. So here's Morgan Byrne. Mid-range shot from her. Beautiful finish. That'll be a sigh of relief for them.
17 plays 10 on the Cavalier Homes scoreboard, favouring the Lavington Panthers, and Myrtleford clawing their way back into this contest.
So here's Panthers moving it around. Plunkett, great target there under the hoop, and a great shot from her. So first few minutes were a little shaky for the Panthers shooting circle, but you can tell they've definitely found their groove there. And the Saints working it back, Piazza. So they're getting the ball into Piazza, but she's obviously not feeling comfortable to shoot from particularly far out. Let's see if Byrne can be that longer range shooter for them. And a good ball there. Hay had the eyes down, so made it easy for Piazza.
Great start on O&M Live Netball. Of course, we're doing it thanks to McRae Motors. Great to have them on board. Proud sponsors of us at 2AY's O&M Live, and also the SS&A Ovens in Murray.
Emily Stewart taking that front position so beautifully, and a 2-on-1. Oh, Plunkett, wow. That was great to watch, the balance there to keep that ball in.
She really has been dominant, hasn't she, Tam?
She has, and I think that the thing we have to remember is she's not going to mind the physical stuff. She's not going to be worried about players double teaming her, because she comes from that basketball background. If anything, that's going to make her step up even more. Perhaps coming off her and forcing her to move a bit more would work better for them.
So the Panthers work it down. Emily Stewart, again, completely alone. You need to put the hands over her. Even if you're not going to get the intercept, the hands and the pressure has to be there, because she's standing in the circle completely alone.
And getting it under the ring, right under the ring.
Some nice defence from Taylor Cartwright. Of course, the daughter of the best cameraman in the Ovens of Murray, Travis Cartwright. Great to have Cartwright Productions helping the O&M Live team in 2022 as the ball trickles out of play.
Maddie Lloyd with a great intercept, but the shooter's not quite ready. So here's Cartwright again. She'll throw in. Goes to Way. Cooper's ready. So transitioning through the midcourt now. And again, Cooper.
Her drive and attack on the ball, Cooper, is outstanding, isn't it? She really demands it.
Yeah, she's been a massive workhorse for them. So hoping for the Saints that she can keep it up all game.
Yeah, I think she's going to be one to watch this season. She's been impressive so far.
Untouched ball there for the Panthers. Wasn't expecting that one from their performance so far. A little dribble ball there from Cooper into Piazza. So sets up the pass. And a contact there from Byrne. I think she tried to milk it the other way, to be honest, but umpire says otherwise.
No, Jared, the umpire on the other side, Jared Hibberson, he's been an Ovens and Murray umpire for a long time, and you won't get away with too many of those. He won't fall for that.
I have no doubt. So
the Lavington Panthers convert on the Cavalier Homes scoreboard. The scoreboard are having a little bit of trouble updating the total. It's 20-12, doing it thanks to Cavalier Homes on O&M Live, and Myrtleford working the ball up into their attacking third, Hannah.
So ball goes to Cooper again. And here's Byrne. Shot goes over, so good pick up there from the Panthers.
Yeah, they can't afford to miss too many down there with the height of the Lavington defenders, because they're so strong in the air on the rebound.
So Plunkett holding. And the hands of Maddie Lloyd find her so easily. Positions herself right under the post. And even with the miss, she's set up for the rebound so well.
And that's what you were talking about earlier in the broadcast, Tamara, thanks to Inside Injury Clinic, that Plunkett, with that basketball background, is struggling a little bit closer to the ring.
Yeah, she's good on the long bombs. I remember last year when she was sort of struggling to find her form, she was fantastic from further out in the circle, and it was under the ring. And I think sometimes there's more pressure on a shooter under the ring. You know, it's the one they should be getting as opposed to further out. But she's certainly shooting with a lot more consistency this year. She looks a lot more relaxed and enjoying it, which is great to see.
So there's Piazza. Shot just trickles in. Looked a little lost there for a second.
And the other thing with Maddie too is she's probably enjoying the focus being on Emily Stewart a bit, because last year she came into the side and there was a lot of talk about her coming in and you know, filling the gap that was left by a couple of the shooters that left Lavington after 2019, and you know, that was extra pressure she probably didn't need. So I think this year Emily coming in has taken the focus off, and that would be suiting her nicely, I'd imagine.
Expert comments of Tamara Matthews on O&M Live, thanks to Insight Injury Clinic. Gus McLeod and Hannah Davies alongside Tamara. 21 plays 13, favouring the Alpine Saints. Second quarter action for Cavalier Homes.
So Panthers working across to Maddie Lloyd. Finds Plunkett at the top. She'll want to move it in. Obstruction call here against Cartwright. So Plunkett under the post. A rebound. Cartwright wins the ball there. Good work from her.
Yeah, she was in great position to get that, wasn't she?
So the Saints work the ball down. Contact from DeMamuel. Goes to Sharp. Cooper again. She's been the key feeder here. And Piazza. Ball goes out, and DeMamuel, beautiful pickup there. Umpire's called a throw in. So Panthers, Hay will take this.
Just going around the grounds full time in a couple of the other A-grade netball games. The Albury Tigers defeating the Wodonga Bulldogs by 10 goals, 44-34. And the Roos too strong for North Albury, 55-27. And here at the Lavington Sports Ground, 21 plays 13, favouring the Lavington Panthers.
Yeah, look, I called a margin of 20.
Oh, here we go. Here comes. Here it's already come out from Hannah.
I think we could get there.
If it blows out by further, you can't claim it though, Hannah, unfortunately.
No.
21 plays 13, favouring the Lavington Panthers on the Cavalier Homes scoreboard.
So Panthers move the ball down again. Maddie Lloyd. She's probably their key feeder, as Cooper is for the Saints. Plunkett, she's barely having to move this game. Passing is immaculate for the Panthers into her.
It's a bit scary as well, Tamara, to think that Em Stewart's probably been a little bit quiet in this game as well, and we know what quality she brings to this Panthers lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, talking to someone, they sort of felt that probably shooter was her preferred position. So perhaps this is, you know, a new role for her. She certainly looks like she's more than capable of playing a goal attack role. So it'll be interesting to see as the season progresses whether she keeps spending time in goal attack or whether she does get back into the circle. It's pretty hard to move Maddie Plunkett out when she's dominating like she is. So it's a nice problem for them to have.
Certainly is, and I was a bit disappointed to see, but Christine Oguchi was supposed to be a sub for this side. She's probably the most exciting player I think this league has. If you see her in person, you'll completely understand why. She's 16 years old, 193 centimetres, and it's only her first year of netball. So
yeah, so
can't wait for her.
She's away this weekend. She's in the Ovens and Murray 17 and under representative side.
Wow.
And is unavailable for the carnival that they're playing in tomorrow. But yeah, outstanding. And when you see her on the court with fellow 17-year-old players, you really get a sense of how strong she is and how tall she is. And she's going to be really impressive to watch.
11 minutes gone on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. 22 plays 14, favouring the Lavington Panthers. And here's the Tony Wilson medalist, Maddie Lloyd.
The speed of the Panthers in that transition is just awesome, and a great long bomb there from Stewart. Maddie Lloyd and Emily Stewart are often finding themselves alone on the court. They're just so fast. Here's Stewart. Sorry, Panthers move it down. Lloyd again. Goes into Stewart. A beautiful pass there to her. A miss, but Plunkett. Great rebound.
It's almost like shooting fish in a barrel for these two shooters for the Lavington Panthers, Maddie Plunkett, Emily Stewart, absolutely putting on a clinic, shaping up to be the contenders for the Urban Greys Player of the Day on O&M Live.
Yeah, and you talk about the speed. I think, Maddie Lloyd is so strong on that give and go, and wing defence just cannot afford to be overrunning any of those contests, to be getting called out of play. She really needs to be staying in play the whole time and stopping that second drive, because that's where Maddie's doing the damage. She's getting deep onto the circle, and from there, the feeds are uncontested.
So a hand from Maggie Thompson leaves for a throw-in for the Saints. Cooper calling for her team to come forward. Houlihan almost got her hands to it. You can just hear Cooper yelling at her team, Tam.
Yeah, she's really directing them and trying to lift their intensity. Her ball release is very quick, and she's wanting them in the position that, where she wants the ball to go, and I think sometimes they're not quite there.
And I guess that begs the question, does she need to perhaps slow it down a little bit to fit them, or do they need to catch up to her?
Well, look, that's right, and I'm not sure whether her netball in South Australia was indoor or outdoor, but certainly if it was indoor, it's such a fast-paced game, and yeah, you're right, it's probably her learning to come back to this style of netball.
Great long bomb there from Plunkett. Again, we've been talking about it all day.
A 3D Lanes Play of the Day from Maddie Plunkett. The umpire's going to bring this one back. The ball's going to be in the way of Myrtleford. 25 plays 15 on the Cavalier home scoreboard, favouring the Panthers.
I noticed talking to Tina during the week, and they're running with a straight 7, and they are just going to utilise their B grade and their 17s players. So Tina, is really keen just to do that, rather than having girls sitting on a bench and not being used in lower grades. So, I think as the season goes on, if they can continue to do that, we should see the sides settle more, and they'll be able to work, I guess, more on some of that strategy stuff. Ellie will start to learn, I guess, how her teammates are playing. They didn't have any pre-season games. So last week was their first match other than intra-club games. So they're really just coming together as the season progresses.
Is that an unusual preparation?
I would say it is, yeah. Most clubs, a lot play a pre-season competition. To not have any at all, I would think, is very unusual.
Great ball there from Hay. So the Panthers move it down once again. Maddie Lloyd is just constantly on the run today. Plunkett goes out and into Stewart. Looks all too easy for the Panthers right now.
A 3D Lanes Play of the Day from the Lavington Panthers, and they're just starting to create a buffer. 27 plays 15 on the Cavalier home scoreboard with under a minute to go on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock.
I'd like to see Myrtleford consider even trying an Ellie Cooper on wing defence, seeing whether she can shut down Maddie Lloyd. They would lose her out of their attack end, where she's been really dominant, but they just need to stop Maddie, and I'm not sure that they've got the player to do that just at the minute. I wonder if Ellie would be a good option.
She's definitely been their best on so far. Here's Stewart again. Takes that front space. Beautiful backdrop there to Plunkett. That combination is looking so good so far. And again, patience from Stewart as she streams in.
As halftime sounds on O&M Live Netball. And a cracking start for the Lavington Panthers. 28 plays 15 on O&M Live. We'll take a break. Plenty more to come. It's great to have your company on O&M Live. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Watching the game at home is good, but watching the game on the big screen with all your mates, all the atmosphere and the great food and beer is pretty hard to beat. And it's all here at the locker room at the SSNA.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket, served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
Did someone say KFC?
I don't care. I love it.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where there's industry qualified trainers. Go where students come first. Go for the community. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go where there's free TAFE. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol.
This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Hi, I'm Kylie King. I first fell in love with this region as the Prime News sports presenter. Sometimes this feels like my second home. I love our historic towns and vibrant cities, our passion for sport, and of course the people who make it special. And now I get to share what's important in our region with Kev Polton. So join us, Kylie and Kev for breakfast, weekday mornings from 6 on 2AY and 3NE.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball. Great to have your company on the Ovens and Murray YouTube channel, streaming right across the globe. It's Gus McLeod, Hannah Davies and Tamara Matthews with you. A 28-15 lead favouring the Lavington Panthers. And we were just chatting off air. The Lavington Panthers, Tamara, really starting to, although they be it early on in the year, just starting to work their way back into where they belong, and that's playing really strong netball and edging towards playing finals.
Absolutely, and clean. Fairly clean netball and have probably always been fairly clean sort of side. Move the ball fast. They've got athletic players through that midcourt. It's great to see Liv Sanson coming into goal attack now. They've set themselves up with a lovely lead, so there's really not a lot of pressure on her, and you know she should be able to sort of settle into this game. Maddie around her and Ange, you know, they've got so much experience, and this is where they need to step in and really guide Liv and direct her and give her the support to allow her to come on.
And a couple of changes we've noticed at the halftime break as well. Hannah and Lavington going to tap into their bench.
Yeah, so I think there's only one change for them, and that is Olivia Sanson, as we said. She's the young gun, 17 years old. We've also had a change in wing defence, which is Sarah Curley, who plays for the B grade. So Amy Houlihan, also a B grade player, kind of subbed out there. But yeah, great to see they're using their B graders, and it seems to be really working for the Panthers. The Saints have had a massive change. I think every position has changed. Am I right, Tam?
Yes, I think so. Yes, you're right.
So I guess we'll start in goal. She'd have Megan Byrne there, moving around. She had a pretty good first quarter, but they've put Emma Sharp in there to, I guess, get a bit more speed in that circle, perhaps. So here's the Panthers already with ball in hand. An early transition here for them. So DeManuel, she's been great. And Lloyd into Plunkett. So just giving Stewart a rest. She had an awesome first half, but I guess, you know, it's a long season, so always best to use your bench players when you can.
Absolutely. I mean, if you've got the luxury of three shooters, being able to sort of rotate them, then, you know, that's a good option to have, and it's good to be able to do it early so that, you know, they can get used to each other for later in the season when the crunch is on.
So we've got Rebecca Piazza in goalkeeper there. So she's gone from shooter to keeper. Probably gives the Saints a little bit more height in their circle as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how she plays on Maddie, whether she gets caught on the body or whether she's going to sit off her. Whether they go for the double teaming again. And I guess just to see whether Lavington can adjust to that extra height and just be a bit more cautious with their feeds.
Beautiful feed in there from Cooper, speaking of. And goes to Byrne, a nice finish there. So Interesting again to move Cooper from centre. I thought she was great in there. If anything, we were saying maybe move her into defence for a little bit more pressure on Lloyd, but I mean her feeds are going to be great, so maybe that's just matching up on Lloyd and wing attack there. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, she's going to be fantastic for them down here, and it's I guess making sure that they can get enough of the ball so that they can utilise her in the attack end.
Little tussle here, and the Saints come away winners. So they'll move the ball down a little bit too fast though.
And I can see she'll be dangerous in that wing attack if she can get on the give and go. She's going to be hard to stop.
Cooper goes low. Good hands from Hay. I think it'll be a using the post there or a throw in, either or.
We'll go the way of the Lavington Panthers. Third quarter action thanks to Martin's Travel Group in Albury. Book your next tour with Martin's Travel.
Panthers, again, really fast here.
Beck caught with her back to the ball.
Definitely got to keep those eyes up against Plunkett. And there's another one from her.
She makes no mistake inside the circle. 31 plays 16 on the Martin's Travel Group Albury scoreboard. Myrtleford have the ball in their attacking third.
And that was an incredibly quick passage of play for the Saints. Probably their fastest so far, but a little bit of extra time needed on the shot as Hay gets the rebound. And there she goes again, moves it down.
I'd like to see whether Beck's going to come off the body here and just create the illusion of space, given that she's got the extra height on Maddie. I think they just need to create some doubt in the feeders' minds. At the moment, the feeders are so comfortable feeding it into Maddie, and it's happening really easily.
So Plunkett gets the ball at contact from Piazza and finishes that one off really nicely.
So 32 plays 16 thanks to Martin's Travel Group and Albury. Gus McLeod, Hannah Davies and Tamara Matthews with you on O&M Live Netball. Thanks to McRae Motors, proud sponsors of the SS&A Ovens and Murray.
Nera here from the Panthers gives Saints another go at the ball. Fast transition, but this is where they need to slow it down, take you three. Another miss there from the Saints, so the Panthers will move it down again. Cooper calling on her team. A stray ball there. So Alpine will have another crack at it. Tina Way, she's in wing defence now. So moved her out from that position. And the Saints just looking to get it into their shooters here. Not a lot of height in the circle, and you can see that with Hay there, just ate that ball up. So Panthers transition again. DeMamuel into Plunkett. Great ball there from Piazza. So again, I feel like the Saints, they've got a lot of possession. It's just about using that ball effectively.
Yeah, they're not rewarding the effort down here in the attack end, and Lavington defenders will make you pay, you know, and will move that ball back quickly. So they're certainly getting plenty of it. It's converting that seems to be the issue at the moment.
Another great rebound from Hay. Her timing is impeccable on those. You could see Byrne had the hands up, but Hay just swoops in at the last second. So Panthers, they'll go again. Maddie Lloyd on the circle top. Umpire calls a holding call against Piazza.
And Sanson converts for her first, I think, today in the third quarter. Thanks to, of course, our good friends at Martin's Travel Group in Albury. And great to see a Sanson playing A-grade netball. The surname synonymous with the Lavington Panthers, Tamara.
Oh, absolutely. Liv has grown up at this court, you know, in all the years that her father was coaching. She would come up here as a young child and just spend Thursday nights up watching the netballers train, you know, week after week. She's really immersed herself in it, and fantastic to see her get an opportunity last year. She was still eligible for 17s last year, but was promoted up, and again this year, you know, to be up there and playing with some of these, you know, players like your Maddie Lloyd and your Ange Mamuel. It's a great experience for her, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Very talented sportsman as well. Liv actually dismissed me in cricket this year, so she plays very good sport in the winter and also very handy with the ball in the cricket as well, Hannah.
Does that say more about her or you, Gus?
No comment. We'll leave it at that as a Plunkett converts from inside the ring for the Lavington Panthers.
Look,
34 plays 16 on the Martin's Travel Group scoreboard.
I'll back Olivia. I'll give you that.
Don't worry, I would too.
So here's Lloyd, moves it down to Plunkett. There she goes again. And Sanson, the young gun, slots. Ooh, rebound here. And a contact against Sanson too. So Piazza and the Saints move the ball down. So Cooper here looking a little bit frustrated. You can tell that there's a lot of movement from her. If anything, I'd say she has to slow down for her team. A few balls just going a little bit too fast. Not at all, like she's playing really, really well. I think her team maybe are just a little bit overwhelmed. Need some more leadership in the slowness.
Yeah, I would say just exactly. Stop, take a breath, and use that stop as a change of pace, as opposed to wanting to give and go on everything. And you know, as the game's going on, the girls are getting more fatigued, and you can start to see that. And obviously, she's got a big engine, and she's going to keep running. But I think it's now about recognising where the players around her are at.
So a timeout here for the Saints as Emma Sharp comes off, and Tamara, help me out.
Yeah, so Sally Botters come on into the goal attack position.
So another change there from the Saints. I've got to say it's a lot of changes for them in only a half so far.
Yeah, and I think you have to then go back to the fact that they didn't play any practice matches. So these effectively have become their practice matches the first couple of rounds. And you look at last week's game, it took them the full game to really get on top of Rovers. And, you know, even today they're swinging lots of positional changes. Yeah, I think it's interesting they chose not to have any practice matches.
And can you talk to me about why there were no? Was it a COVID thing and availability? Do we know?
Look, Tina didn't say. I know they sort of had some intra-club games. I know Sophie Capillari travels from Melbourne, so whether it was around availability of players, don't know. Tina didn't say, but I think it is an interesting thing to do.
And perhaps that's why we are seeing probably just a level up of match fitness from the Panthers. Is I guess they've just had more time on court, more time with ball in hand. But, you know, it's only round one. There's a lot more rounds to go. So I think that in a few weeks' time we could see a very different Saints side.
Oh, look, I absolutely agree. And Tina is a fantastic coach. She will have them well drilled. And I think the fact they're running with the 7, they will really be able to stabilise that 7 as the weeks go on and really put the work into that group without having to worry too much about too many extra players. So it will be interesting to see where they're at, you know, come round sort of 6, 7.
Definitely, and I guess the other benefit of moving the positions around is that you know that you've got a lot of freedom to move people. You know, if something's not working, Tina can just say, hey, let's switch this, go this way.
Yeah, and I think if you're running with the 7, you have to have that, don't you? Otherwise, you just you don't give yourself any adaptability. So Tina obviously knows her players and knows the different positions they can play. They have Sage Broads who will come back into the team. She's just had a baby. Sage can shoot and can run from mid-court where she's played the last few years and she had a fantastic season last year, really was probably the best season I think she's had. So they'll be really keen to get her back. She will add great height and athleticism to their side, so that is exciting for them.
And just as we say this, the Saints, a turnover for them, so they'll bring the ball down. Cartwright goes to Way and into Botter. And there's Cooper. Good ball in from her. Good rebound there from Byrne. Cooper again. Just trying to work it in. Given they're smaller shooters, they have to take that front position. There's not going to be many lobs anymore, especially with Hay in the circle.
So Hay will bring the ball back into play for the Lavington Panthers. Third quarter action, I should say, for Martin's Travel Group in Albury as Maddie Lloyd links up with Sanson in the attacking third.
And here's Plunkett again. She's been really consistent for the side so far. Always finishes off with a great rebound. There she goes again. I tell you what, she may miss a few, but she always gets her rebound. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Oh, look, absolutely. And she's got the luxury of being tall enough that she can do that, which is lovely. I do think Beck Piazza has challenged them a lot more this quarter, made them work a lot harder. And we've seen Maddie move a lot more. Come out of the ring a few times, so they've certainly forced them to change the way they play, but Maddie has adapted beautifully.
So the Saints reach their attacking third, looking to move in. We've got a 2-on-1 here on shooter Byrne, but she comes away with the ball. Another good rebound from her, but just not backed up by her mid-quarters. Probably needed to keep them on the edge of the circle there.
they just slowed that play down a bit, didn't they? They just stopped with that hectic sort of fast pace forcing it and stopped and really waited for a clear option and were able to get it in a lot cleaner, just not finishing it off. So.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need. You know, the shots will come. They just need more opportunity at the ball in the circle.
39 plays 16 thanks to Martin's Travel Group in Albury. We're about halfway through the third quarter on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock.
So Capillari takes the ball at the top of the circle. Beautiful split there. And the Saints slot another one. So here are the Panthers. DeManuel goes to Sanson. Contact call against Cartwright here. And there's Sanson again. Good ball in. And you were saying before, Tam, Piazza is just putting on so much pressure on Plunkett. I'm really noticing it.
Yeah, she's really forcing Maddie to move a lot more. She's got really long arms, and she gets a lot of ball.
Well, it also just seems that since all the pressure's gone onto Plunkett, it's paving a way for Liv Sansa to make her way into the game as she scores another one.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of having that lovely lead, that Liv can come on and settle into the game and find herself undefended at times and then not have that pressure.
So you can see what the Saints are trying to do down here, and the ball pass and the positioning is good, but I think they're just lacking the height in the shooter. So those lobs are just going straight into the hands of Hay, who's really got that elevation. So probably just need to adjust to a smaller shooter than perhaps what they're used to.
Yeah, they do, and I think that rotation is working into the front position. The other thing a few times they've done is they haven't looked at the post. They've caught the ball in, and instead of looking up and forcing the defender to come around and get into position, they've never looked like they're going to shoot, and so the defender hasn't had to come off them. They've just sat on them and tried to get the refeed. So I think trying to force the defender back off them to give themselves some space for a refeed if they need to get closer.
And again, a lob there just falls into the hands of Maggie Thompson. So the Saints have a throw in here on the far side. Cooper moves it around for her shooters. She wants to go in. Byrne just not comfortable at that mid-range. So Cooper again. See if she'll shoot it this time. Still wants to move it in.
Good play by Botter just to come forward into that space instead of forcing the one over to Byrne.
And a great finish there.
18 move the Myrtleford Alpine Saints to Lavington Panthers 41 thanks to Martin's Travel Group in Albury. Gus McLeod, Hannah Davies and Tamara Matthews with you. Thanks to McRae Motors, proud sponsors of O&M Live and the SSNA, Ovens and Murray.
Good effort there from Piazza to have a crack high at the ball, but a nice finish there from Plunkett again. To Lavington centre here. Bit of confusion. Sanson goes down to Lloyd. And a good hand there from the Saints.
I've just started to see Lavi a few times force it in from off the circle. They're not quite getting to the circle like they were. They're well up, so it's not going to affect the score, but just starting to sort of try and force a few more over the top.
At a stage like this in the game, Tam, do you maybe look to put a Maddie Lloyd or a Maddie Plunkett on ice for the rest of the game, or do you keep them on the court and really start to assert dominance?
I think this early in the season, you just want game time into them. So unless they were carrying some sort of injury and needed to, I would be keeping them out there and trying to, to get that match fitness, because it doesn't matter how many practice matches you play. There's sort of nothing like the real thing, and I just think they would be silly to take them off at this stage.
As the siren sounds for three-quarter time here on O&M Live, the scoreboard, thanks to Martin's Travel Group, reads 42-18. You're listening to O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Watching the game at home is good, but watching the game on the big screen with all your mates, all the atmosphere and the great food and beer is pretty hard to beat. And it's all here at the locker room at the SSNA.
0.0% alcohol.
This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket, served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
Did someone say KFC?
I don't care. I love it.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where there's industry qualified trainers. Go where students come first. Go for the community. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go where there's free TAFE. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Hi, I'm Kylie King. I first fell in love with this region as the Prime News sports presenter. Sometimes this feels like my second home. I love our historic towns and vibrant cities, our passion for sport, and of course the people who make it special. And now I get to share what's important in our region with Kev Polton. So join us, Kylie and Kev for breakfast, weekday mornings from 6 on 2AY and 3NE.
McLeod, Hannah Davies and Tamara Matthews with you on O&M Live Netball. We're not too far away from recommencing the fourth and final quarter in the A-grade game between the Lavington Panthers and the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. We're doing it thanks to Martin's Travel Group in Albury. On the X-Ray Group scoreboard, 42 plays 18. And the Alpine Saints will recommence the play here in the fourth and final quarter. With Hannah Davies tipping a 20-goal margin, she might be cheering for Myrtleford a little bit in this quarter just to bring the margin back a little bit.
Yeah, look, I wasn't expecting it to blow out this quickly, but I think the Saints have got a lot left in them in this last quarter. We can see Coach Tina Way is in the centre position now, met with Ellie Cooper in wing attack, so perhaps having that leader in the centre position could give them a bit more confidence, slow down the pace a little. But as I say that, the Panthers are on the move already. Great intercept. Oh, Maddie Lloyd brings it to Sanson, into Stewart. So we've got a new combination here with Stewart in goal shooter and the young gun Sanson in goal attack. So Tam, they've taken off Plunkett.
Yeah, they have, and perhaps it's to give Emily a bit of a run with Liv too, given they may not have played a lot together. Be interested to see this matchup, Emily Stewart and Beck Piazza. They're very similar height. I'm looking forward to seeing this quarter.
So DeManuel works it over. Maddie Lloyd keeps it in, but good hands there from the Saints. Brings it down. Houlihan, she's back on court here. Great work from her. And a good finish there from Sanson. Myrtleford centre here, so Tina Way look to get there first for the quarter. Cartwright goes to Way. So another change up in the shooting circle for the Saints with Byrne in goal attack and Sally Botter in goal shooter.
Just around the grounds here at the Lavington Sports Ground, and the football, 32 plays 54, favouring the Alpine Saints. So good to see the Saints in front of one of the games here on O&M Live.
Great shot there from Stewart. And Panthers centre again. Sanson goes to Lloyd. And Stewart just positioning herself so well. You can see she's really enjoying herself in that position, can't you?
Yeah, and she's strong going back, isn't she? She doesn't mind dropping.
So here's Cooper. Oh, and Hay sweeps out.
Has to be a contender for the Urban Greys Player of the Day. Does Hayes been playing that goalkeeper? Had it been probably a more even contest favouring the way of the Alpine Saints, she'd be involved a lot more.
Yeah, she's been exceptional today. Really just going out for every ball. So here, Panthers, Sanson, mid-range shot here. Great from her. You can tell the shooters are playing with a lot of confidence now. Unsurprising, given it's their 47th goal here.
47-18 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Great to have them on board in season 2022, the X-Ray Group.
And Lloyd goes to Stewart. Beautiful baseline drive from her.
Yeah, that rotation's working well through there now, isn't it?
So Cooper comes out. She's probably been best on for the Saints today. Would you say, Tam?
Yeah, I would agree. I think her level of intensity and her strength has been outstanding. As we've mentioned before, I think, it's going to take her a little bit of time to learn a bit more about her players and just to, I guess, tone it down a little bit when she needs to and bring them into the game. But I've been really impressed with her. I think she's going to be fantastic this season.
So Tina Way will have the ball here, look to feed in. Great work there from Botter. See if she can finish this off. And a good shot there against the hands of Hay.
A 3D Lanes Play of the Day for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. 48 plays 19 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. And here come the Panthers.
There's Stewart again. And a beautiful shot there. What I love, though, is even though her shooting's been so accurate, you can see her each time making the move for the rebound, just in case she misses.
Yeah, she's just in the game all the time, isn't she? You can see she's trying to read the play and get in the best position. I'm really liking the work off the line of Maddie Lloyd and Liv Sanson. They're combining really nicely. They're not getting in each other's space, reading off each other and setting themselves for that second phase. And that transition into the circle is really going almost undefended at times.
Fourth quarter action on O&M Live thanks to Martin's Travel Group in Albury.
Stewart again, she is so unstoppable. We talk about the height of a Plunkett, but Stewart's movement and timing is equal to it, even without the extra 10 centimetres.
Yeah, her footwork is excellent, isn't it? There, she's up on the body, and then next thing she's off and into the space. And I think Beck's probably finding it hard to know where she is. She's got outstanding footwork.
So here's Hay, moves it in for her team. Houlihan cops a bit of a bash in the back there from Way. So Panthers continue their transition. Stewart goes out. Obstruction here from the Saints, so Panthers set up. Beautiful from Stewart. She'll take that from there. And why not?
A contender for the Urban Greys Player of the Day. 51 plays 20. Hannah Davies' tip of 20 just seems to be a drop in the ocean here on O&M Live Netball. We're doing it thanks to McRae Motors, proud sponsors of O&M Live and the SSNA Ovens and Murray, as Sanson makes no mistake from inside the ring.
I feel like that goal was almost Maddie Lloyd's. You can tell that her eyes were directly on Stewart, but went completely over to Sanson.
Yeah, and I can see Stewart, this is her preferred position. She was great earlier, but she's very comfortable in shooter. She is just directing the play, moving beautifully.
And it's funny, I think we saw that last week with Zara Berry in goal attack. It seems to be the young gun goes into goal attack and kind of lets her goal shooter that generally has a little bit more experience lead her, but it's working, isn't it?
Absolutely it is, yeah.
So Houlihan goes down to DeManuel, into Sanson. And even Stewart, when the ball's not in hand, still moving around, helping out her player. And a good rebound there from Piazza. That is exactly what the Saints need. So Cooper goes back to Capillari. Into Way again. Byrne moves out of the circle. Let's see if the Saints can find the post here. Ball goes over straight into the hands of Maggie Thompson. So not a lot of changes for the Panthers today, Tam.
No, look, they've that mid-court setup of Ange Manuel and Maddie Lloyd been really constant. and Maggie Thompson. I was going to say Maggie Young and Maggie Thompson, and they played a lot of netball together. So that transition down the court is made so much easier because they know how each other are playing. Grace Hayes obviously played with them, the last couple of years. So their transition out of defence is almost seamless.
So Maddie Lloyd, she's so fast on her feet, almost runs herself off the court. And she'll move back here. Great ball into Sanson. Good contest though from Cartwright. And here's Stewart again, another one.
And she converts on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. 54 plays 20.
And Lavington are in a really good position here where they can make this change, where they can take a Maddie Plunkett off, who's more of a stationary holding shooter, and bring in someone like Emily Stewart, who's moving, who's got great footwork. So it's just going to give them options against the different defensive combinations, but especially those top sides where they have really strong defenders. So I think they've got some great options there in that attacking end.
Yeah, they've certainly got a lot of depth. And, we were saying before, but they've got Aguchi on the sideline who's 193 centimetres. So in case, Stewart's not tall enough for them for whatever reason, chuck her on.
Yeah, that's right. And it'll be interesting to see whether Christine Aguchi does come up and play some games in A grade. She's very new to netball. Has been a really strong basketballer, is my understanding. And certainly, I'm sure we'll get her opportunity when the time's there. But, they've certainly got lots of options.
We've played 8 minutes on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. Myrtleford, an opportunity to convert, which they capitalise on. 55 plays 22 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Gus McLeod, Hannah Davies and Tamara Matthews with you on O&M Live. The Panthers and the Alpine Saints, thanks to Insight Injury Clinic.
Beautiful intercept there from Cartwright, just to get the elevation on that one and pull it in. Gives the Saints another crack at goal here. Ball goes out.
And Maggie Thompson's had a great game. She's probably hasn't taken the intercepts like a Grace Hay, but she's done a lot of work off the ball, put a lot of pressure consistently for 4 quarters, and allowed Grace to pick off some of those balls. So I think she's done well. Goal defence, it's a tough position. She's run out 4 quarters there really well.
It's sort of like wing defence, isn't it? Bit of that unsung hero, a lot of work before you get the intercept.
Yeah, it sure is.
And a miss here, but great rebound there from Hay. Beautiful positioning. So Houlihan works down to Thompson. Goes to Lloyd again. Oh.
That hurt my ankle, just looking at that one from Maddie Lloyd as the Panthers capitalise from inside the circle. I think Maddie might look to make a change here, the Tony Wilson medalist, but she's going to soldier on, Tam. She's tough.
Yeah, it looked like she copped one in the hip. So she's not going to go off unless it's bad.
Beautiful pull in from Stewart there. You can tell that 15 minutes off the bench has really given her a lot of stamina and speed for this one.
Yeah, she's got great pace, doesn't she?
So the Alpine Saints trailing this one, 56-23 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. We've got about 5 minutes to go in the final quarter. Thanks to Martin's Travel Group in Albury. Book your next tour with Martin's.
And Lavington have Taylor Ferber sitting off today, so I'm not sure why she's not playing, but she gives them another option defence, very tall player. So, they've got some things up their sleeve and plenty of options there, which is really promising for them going into the season. They've got Yarrawonga next week, so that is going to be a huge test for them, and be interesting to see where they're at.
Yarrawonga probably the benchmark of the competition, you'd say, Tam?
I think so. I think obviously Wangaratta and Corowa deserve to be up there as well. I just think Yarrawonga's experience for me at this stage. Now, how they come out and play next week will be interesting, and how they go today against Raiders. But certainly as the season progresses, their experience is going to come into play.
Great contest there from Piazza, getting a hand on it. It appears she's really starting to keep up with Stewart and go out for those balls. You can see her there. She's moving out of the circle. She's not letting go of Stewart.
Yeah, and Beck Piazza played a 350th game last week. Huge achievement. Fantastic milestone. She's a Tony Wilson medalist. She was a premiership player as only a young player in her first couple of years. It might have been her first season at Myrtleford. She's just been outstanding for Myrtleford, and it's great to see her reach that milestone and to see her still playing at the standard she is. She's a beautiful person off the court, and she's absolutely a legend for them on the court.
Unlucky call there against Cooper with the replay ball. So the Panthers look to go again. Great hold. Ooh. And Piazza again. She's really coming into her own at the end of this game. And Cooper Moves around to Byrne. And there's Way. Just need to find post now. Beautiful baseline drive along the side for Byrne. And a great finish there for the young shooter.
57 plays 24. O&M Live netball action thanks to Martin's Travel Group in Albury.
And Tina Way goes into Byrne again. Ball goes out. She'll fight to get it in. And a Saints throw in here. So they'll hope to finish off this game strong. But the Panthers, again, just getting a hand on every ball here.
And great to see some of these players coming off the bench tomorrow. It is really hard to know. If you're an outsider watching this game, you could think that all these players are in their starting 7.
Absolutely. I've been very impressed with Amy Houlihan. I think she's come on. Sarah Curley, when she came on, she did a fantastic job.
Didn't look out of place at all, did she?
She was C grade last year, I think. So, you know, kudos to those girls for coming on and stepping up. It's been an intense game. You know, the score has blown out, but the pressure and the intensity hasn't dropped off. And, you know, they've sort of stepped on and done a fantastic job for Lavington. And then, you know, someone like a Morgan Byrne, I think it's only her second year in A grade. And again, she's had to withstand some mighty defensive pressure from Lavington. But, you know, her work rate is still high. And they'll take a lot out of it, these young girls. It'll stand them in really good stead, you know, in that back half of the season.
So Maddie Lloyd moves it down for her team. Sanson wants to feed it in. Good hands though from Piazza, makes it harder. But here's Stewart again. Beautiful shot from her.
So 58 plays 25. The margin really starting to blow out, favouring the Lavington Panthers. Of course, they've made a statement after suffering a loss at the hands of Cora Rutherglen last week with a big, big win here today, thanks to Martin's Travel Group in Albury.
Great hold there from Sanson, but the 2-on-1 comes with Saints take the win for that one. But a contact here, I believe. So Panthers feed into Stewart again. Mid-range here. Beautiful finish there.
So not too long to go here, just under a minute on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock, and Lavington have really made a statement to the competition today with 59 playing 25 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Not long to go in the final quarter.
So Saints looking to go in. Shooters looking a little stuck, driving that baseline, and a good low ball there from Cooper. Can't be finished off though. So the Panthers, they'll go again. Their work rate has been incredible this game. Sanson moves out. And Emily Stewart thought she might take that long one. Probably should have. Ball rolls out. So a throw in from Piazza.
Piazza really has been that shining light for Myrtleford today, leading by example, hasn't she, Tam?
Yeah, and look, it's a really tricky situation. You know, last week she started defence, went to goals, and obviously had an impact. So for Tina, it's where do I start her? Do I start, you know, do I attack the game and put her in shooter, or do I go defensive and start her in keeper? And today she's had to work the opposite way, and I guess that's going to be the challenge going into the season and against the different teams.
As full-time wraps up here on O&M Live Netball, and a very convincing win to say the least. Hannah favouring the way the Lavington Panthers 59-26, a really convincing win.
Yeah, look, that's a huge win from the Panthers. I think we expected them to come out here really strong, but that scoreline certainly speaks for itself. Great performances across the entire team, and using their bench as well, I think, and their B graders as well, I should add. So just really great depth from their entire team.
Absolutely. Who caught your eye today, Hannah? A potential Urban Greys player of the day.
Oh, look, I might be a bit biased as a redhead, but it's going to be Grace Hay for me today. Look, she was backed beautifully by her defenders as well, but she came away with an incredible amount of ball today. Grace, what a game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it out there. Like, me and the girls have gelled so well together over the past 2 weeks, and it was great to get a win on the board.
Grace, you're playing a lot of netball and you're doing a lot of travel at the minute. How are you coping, and are you just enjoying being back playing netball?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it after 2 years off. Just sleeping in the car, honestly, is how I get through all the travel. Yeah.
I can imagine you would be so busy with your footy as well and the netball. What are you expecting from your team this season after that particularly good start?
Hopefully to make finals again. and just to have a good season.
And talk us through what you've been up to at the minute. Obviously, you're travelling down to Melbourne, playing a lot of VNL with the other NE Blaze, under-19 side, and of course you're a rep player with Albury as well. You've got a lot on your plate at the minute. You're still finding a way to dominate the A-grade netball ranks here in the SSNA Ovens and Murray.
Yeah, it's
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a lot, yeah.
And how are you finding the transition with the new coaching staff at the Panthers?
Yeah, I'm finding Linda really, really good to work with.
And also a really exciting couple of shooters that you guys have got. Of course, Maddie in her second year for the club, and Emily as well, been a great acquisition.
Yeah, they're both doing amazing. I can't wait to see what they bring.
Very good. Grace Hay, congratulations. You're our Urban Greys player of the day. We'll let you go and do your warm down, and we'll get a photo with you a bit later on.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Grace Hay joining us here on O&M Live, our Urban Greys player of the day. And I'll tell you what, ladies, she is an absolute superstar in the making. I really cannot wait to see what she can achieve when she works her way up the grades, matures a little bit more. She's still quite young, and the fact that she can do this against senior netball is really a promising sign.
Yeah, and she's, look, as you saw there, she's a very quiet, softly spoken person off the court.
Very humble.
And yet, you get her on the court and she just chases everything and plays with great aggression. So it's really nice to see her coming out there. I've sort of seen her over the years grow and mature, and she's certainly playing, I guess, a more settled game. She's not as intimidated by those players, and she puts a lot of pressure on herself. And I think we're seeing less of that. She seems to be playing with a little bit more sort of relaxation and enjoying it a little bit more, perhaps.
Well, Tam, thanks for your time this afternoon on O&M Live Netball. Thanks to Insight Injury Clinic. A cracking debut from you.
Thank you, guys. It's been awesome.
Hannah, getting better and better each and every week. Are you liking the Ovens and Murray?
Oh, certainly. It's so exciting seeing both incredible local talent and also some of the imports here from across the Premier Leagues. We've got VNL and also the New South Wales Premier League. So, yeah, just plenty of talent all around.
And we'll be back next week covering the Albury Tigers and Cora Rutherglen. Thanks for your time this afternoon, Hannah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks to Travis Cartwright, the best cameraman in the business, to Luke Chilcott and the team at Wangaratta and Indigo Computers for putting the live stream together. On behalf of everyone at 2A1 O&M Live, this has been O&M Live. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Watching the game at home is good, but watching the game on the big screen with all your mates, all the atmosphere and the great food and beer is pretty hard to beat. And it's all here at the locker room at the SSNA.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan Intelligent Mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket, served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
Did someone say KFC?
I don't care. I love it.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where there's industry qualified trainers. Go where students come first. Go for the community. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go where there's free TAFE. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Hi, I'm Kylie King. I first fell in love with this region as the Prime News sports presenter. Sometimes this feels like my second home. I love our historic towns and vibrant cities, our passion for sport, and of course the people who make it special. And now I get to share what's important in our region with Kev Polton. So join us, Kylie and Kev for breakfast, weekday mornings from 6